Good morning, MLC class 405-25-04. Hope everybody's doing well so far. So my name is Master Sergeant Neely. I'm currently stationed in Smith Barracks in Baumholder, Germany, and it is currently 12:50 afternoon my time, which is probably 6 to 8 hours earlier for y'all. So today I want to cover a significant topic in the sports world, and it's basically the excessive amount of injuries that's going on in the National Basketball Association, also known as the NBA, particularly around the ankle and the foot area. A lot of these younger players are getting injured constantly, and it's making for a lackluster product on the actual court. You're not getting the full product because everybody's hurt. And then when big games come, like the NBA Finals that just happened, you have a star player getting injured. He tore his Achilles. So particularly Achilles injuries. So over the last few years, we've had an average of 1.5 to 2 Achilles injuries per year. And this NBA season alone, the 2024-2025 season, we had a total of 9 Achilles injuries, and that was detrimental to the league because it was happening to a lot of star players. And I guess your question next is, the research has been like, what's causing all these injuries with the younger players? We have more technology. They're not practicing as much in the off season or prior to the season. Why are they getting hurt so much compared to the players in the 90s and the early 2000s? Well, one thing I just said was a reason why they are getting hurt constantly. They're not practicing as much as they once upon a time did before the season, so their bodies aren't accustomed. But a big thing I want to share is the product as far as their shoe wear, their footwear. Like I said, we have ankle, Achilles, foot injuries like crazy. And a big product is a lot of players are gearing towards low-top sneakers. And what I mean by low-top sneakers are sneakers like this, where it has that lower top. So it's not really covering the ankle like what we used to wear back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So you had that ankle support with the higher top shoe. So this is considered a low top shoe. And go figure, the NBA basketball player whose shoe this belongs to actually has been one of the frequent ones that get injured around his ankle and foot area because this is the type of shoes they wear. And an example of a high top shoe, which is the preferred shoe, would be more of this right here, a basketball shoe that supports the ankle. That way, if you have those turns or glitches on your ankles or on your foot, there's more support, so you're not prone to injury as much as you are with those low top sneakers. Kobe Bryant back in 2016 was like one of the first main guys to consistently wear low tops during actual games, and because of the style and stuff like that, everybody geared themselves toward the low top. And as you see, as time increased, more injuries were prevalent. So the big issue is, how do we fix these injuries? How do we get to a nitty-gritty to where our players aren't getting injured as much? There's no set way. We're not doctors here, and even doctors can't predict what will stop, but they can give you advice. And one of the things that we're looking at, and what the NBA has been looking at as a whole, is the footwear. Like, can we start somewhere and then go from there? Have players start wearing high top shoes, require players to wear high top shoes, and if your shoe is not a certain length, you're not allowed to play. The problem is these NBA players nowadays make a lot of money, so authority sometimes is out the window when it comes to their personal wear. They can wear what they want. You got football players wanting to wear watches during games or whatnot for promotion, but that's a big start right now. They want to start with the footwear, and they want to kind of increase the athletic, the wear and tear on their body. They want to increase more practices. Like I said, it sounds like, okay, more practices, that sounds like they would get hurt more. No, because their bodies will be accustomed to that in these long 82-game seasons, which is the current total of games they play in an NBA season. The players can play more or whatnot because they're a more faster game these days compared to the old school days. So with them being more faster, these low top shoes, in a lot of people's opinion, is what is killing these guys' ankles and foot and feet, and they're tearing their Achilles. And these Achilles injuries are 8 to 10 month recovery period for that injury, and it's leading them into the next season. They're starting to miss that next season, and that messes with their money, their promotions, all that stuff. So this is what they want to get to in the league, trying to minimize these injuries. And what way can you minimize and prevent, as far as preventive measures go, those routes to kind of eliminate those injuries and get back to that 1.5 to 2 injuries per year instead of 9 Achilles injuries like we had this year. That's insane to have those many injuries. And like I said, it affected the NBA Finals because one of the star players got hurt from an Achilles tear. And like I said, go figure, he wears low top sneakers, one of the younger players. So, but pending any questions, that's my take on that. Like I said, how do we prevent those injuries from NBA players around the ankle and foot area? Thanks, class.